Hey everybody, it's Skye. Thank you so much for joining me here at Scrap with Skye. Tonight we're going to be working on our catch-up pages for the first pages of January 2025. I'm so thrilled that you joined me, and thank you so much for your patience. I had a couple of technical difficulties. Zoom made me upgrade, so it took me a few minutes longer to get connected than I would have hoped. Please put your name in the comments and say hi to me. I'm running about a 10 to 15-second delay from what I'm seeing on the screen and what you're seeing on the screen. So just bear with me while we get started. And I'll try to respond to any of your comments as soon as I possibly can. Hey, Rosemary, thanks so much for joining from Maryland. I love to see you as always. So I just want to talk a little bit about what we're doing here, since this is the first time we're going to be meeting like this, kind of give you an overview of how this is going to work for the rest of the year. So on the last day of the month, every month for 2025, I'm going to be doing a live scrapbook night for the photos from the previous month. So of course, there's no scrapbooking police here on Facebook and on Scrap with Skye. You can work on whatever you like. But the idea is for you to stay current for 2025. Certainly you could do last year, 10 years ago, or if you don't scrap chronologically, totally fine. Just work on whatever you're working on at the moment. And a tip that I would give you is, if you are going to be working on your current year photos, that maybe do a cutoff of a week ago. So for example, this is a Friday, so perhaps last Friday, maybe that's when you start going through your photos and picking out the ones from, the previous, approximately 3 weeks, and get those ready to print, however you do that. There's a lot of options for printing your photos, so we can talk a little bit about that more as we are scrapping. I plan on doing a blog post about that, actually, because I've been recently making some changes for how I print my photos. Yeah, 30 years ago. I can not quite relate to 30 years ago, but I do have some old photos that need to be scrapped as well. So we're going to be meeting up here the last day of the month at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. Depending on where you are, that could change throughout the year. We don't observe daylight savings time here in Arizona. So right now we're the same as Pacific. Excuse me, we are the same as Mountain Regular. So that means that if you're on the East Coast, we're 2 hours different than you are. But always check to see. I'm gonna start out using the sketches from the 2024 virtual crop. So this is January. I'm going to use the January 2024 sketches from the CM virtual crop. If you've made those before, I'm going to have some good tips and tricks on how to make them different. Just using different product and different photos is going to make them different enough that nobody will know but you. And we can do some other things to mix them up a little bit. So if you feel like you've already been there, done that, I'd ask you to give it a shot. I don't think that you have. And that's how it's going to work. We're probably going to take a break after the first two, just so we can get up and stretch our legs, get a drink, use the bathroom, grab a snack, that sort of thing. Speaking of snacks, I want to know what everybody's got out there for their scrapbooking snack of choice. I have ice water because I get hot. I have some other goodies. So when I switch my camera, I'll show you guys what my scrapbooking snacks of choice are. I've been trying to snack healthier, but when I scrapbook, I kind of fall into the trap of getting some of my favorite things to munch on. I'm sorry you lost me, Rosemary, but I'll be here for a while. Plus, this recording will be on the Facebook page, and I'm also going to post it on my YouTube channel. So you can always go back to it if you want to watch it at your own pace, or if there's a particular thing you want to check again. You have to leave early, you got here late, you can't make it 1 month. So it's available and recorded, no problem at all. So, having said that, let's get to work. So, I posted previously the link to the sketches. There's a PDF download if you'd like to take a look at them. I'm glad you're back, Rosemary. And that's what that's what I'm gonna be using tonight. So pull up that link, and that'll be the guideline that we'll be using. And I will try to do that ahead of time each month. But if for some reason we don't, then you'll always be able to go back to that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera to my desktop. That's not the button I want. Let's see, here we go. All right, how's that look? I've got my little tools handy. I've recently kind of made some changes to my workspace, and I haven't done a lot of work since I made those changes. So I'm just going to ask for your patience. It's possible I may need to find something now and again since I did make those changes. Okay, so sketch number 1 looks like this. It's got 4 photos. It's a single page. I'm going to make everything tonight that I'm going to make for myself is going to be a 2-page layout. I have more photos than can be accommodated in single page layouts. So I'm going to be doing 2-page layouts on all of the projects. So this particular layout, it's a very straightforward horizontal with a border page and a title on the and border, excuse me, with a very straightforward base page and just a border on the bottom and the title. I love the wave. It gives it some movement. My photos for this layout are a combination of vertical and horizontal. So the first page I'm going to do, my left-hand layout page of the layout is going to be, I'm going to turn it 90 degrees and I'm going to do 4 verticals on the left-hand side, and then I'm going to do 4 horizontals on the right-hand side. So I'm going to mix it up a little bit. And I'll set that aside. The pictures I'm going to be scrapbooking on this layout are from my daughter's bedroom renovation. So over the Christmas break, we redid my daughter's room. So it was quite the project. We dismantled her loft bed and made it 3 separate pieces, and we painted. I say we, but quite honestly, most of it was my husband Ian did the vast majority of the work, which I'm incredibly grateful for, and did it with a smile on his face most of the time. So I've got photos of kind of the before, the during, and the after. So that's what I'm going to be scrapbooking. The color scheme that she chose is she loves the natural colors of nature, lots of leaves, leafy things. So I'm using the Serenity paper collection. I'm going to kind of have to mix and match a little bit on my pages. I've got a piece of the Fast to Fab paper. I'm going to piece together couple of other pieces, but I loved, probably the main reason I chose this collection was this leafy border, which has that wave to it, like is shown on the sketch, but also because it just fits perfectly with the room renovations that she did. She's got lots of things like that. So that's the product I'm going to be using to make these pages. Okay, so the first side I'm going to do is going to be the vertical photos, and they just need to be trimmed down to 5.5 by 3.5. So I'm going to grab my photo trimmer and trim these guys down. And I'm not too sure. I need to cut an inch off. I guess I'll take maybe like 1/4 of an inch off of each side. Actually, I'll probably take the full. So now I'm 5.5 by 3.5. The cat was super helpful with this project. Side off. So if you've been following my Facebook page, you might have seen we had a big announcement today. I went live with my website, so scrapwithskye.com. I encourage you to check it out and subscribe to my blog. I will be doing a prize drawing for everyone who subscribes to my blog by the 15th of February. I'm going to put you in a drawing for a event credit. So that works for those of you who don't live in Arizona, because I've got a lot of virtual events planned this year. And so you can apply that towards a virtual prop registration fee. So sign up, guys. Trying to kind of very carefully crop this in. And then I have one photo that I'm going to trim down. It's, let's see, I think I can just take this end off. I'm going to make it a little bit different size because it's a vertical photo that I'm going to try to fit into a horizontal slot. So so it needs to be 3.5 wide. And the max it can be is 4. So I've got a 4 by 3.5 where it normally would be 3.5 by 5.5. So I'm going to have a little extra space there to do an embellishment or some journaling or something like that. We'll see how it all works out. Okay, so I've got my photos all trimmed. I'm using this Fast to Fab piece of paper, which is going to make putting this page together super, super quick. So I am going to turn it on its side though, and I'm going to have the photos like this, kind of before, during, before and during. I do like a good mat on my photos. I think most of you know. So I think what I'm going to do, rather than mat these photos individually, what I'm going to do is do a layer behind them. So I'm going to pull out the collection and see if I can find a good contrasting piece of paper. The background on this one is going to be fairly light, so want something that's a little bit darker, and it needs to be 11, 3.5, doing math, 3, 7, needs to be about 7.25 by 11.25. So a fairly good sized piece of paper. Let's see what my options are here. Not sure that I have great ones, to tell you the truth. I have blue, which I don't know that I really want to use blue on there. I might have to go with a cardstock, to be real honest. I think I will, because I just don't have a good sort of complementing piece of paper. I kind of do want it to be, I want some contrast, but it's also going to be a little bit monochromatic. So I'm going to grab some green papers over here and see what my good options are. That's not so great. Also probably use a brown, which might ultimately be the best thing. Yeah, that green doesn't really blend so well. This new craft brown and little hot fudge as options. Craft brown, I think, honestly, I think I probably will use, just think the craft is going to blend too much into the background of the photos. I think I will use the dark brown. It's a little, I wouldn't say risky necessarily. I think the stickers and embellishments that I have can really pull it together. So we're going to go with the hot fudge. And I have a bend there, so I'm going to use this piece. And what did I say? 7.25. 3. Maybe I want 7. I'll start it out at 7.5 by 11.5. Might be a little bit too big, but we can trim it down that way. We got a message from Roxana, but I don't see her in the comments. So Roxana, if you're out there, say hi. All right. So I feel like that'll be nice. Give it a nice narrow, but still noticeable outline there. So this is kind of a matte layer, if you will, for this page. I do really like how that is looking. I'll just set those aside for the moment, for the time being. I'm gonna try these guys. Looks about right. Yeah, I think so. Eyeballing the placement on here just relative to all of the photos. And I'm using my regular tape runner on these. Who's tried the new big tape runner gun, if you will? I do have this. The thing that I like most about this is so this holds 6 refills, the equivalent of 6 refills of the regular tape runner. And the refill price is about the price of that 5 would be. So you definitely get a good value. For those of us that have been using this size and this tape runner for, 20 plus years, it does take a little bit getting used to, but that's okay. We, things change. And I will say, I know my grip strength is definitely depleting. So I welcome something that's a little bit easier to hold on to. Okay, so my photos are done on this page. It's gonna be a quick layout, actually. I'm gonna go ahead then and work on the other side, which is gonna take me a little bit longer because I'm gonna be using I'm gonna weld these 2 pieces together. And it's not gonna be so much as a weld as kind of an overlap. I won't need to use a strip in the back because this one piece is big enough to not have to do that. But I do need to sort of line it up really carefully to make sure that it's gonna be a true 12 by 12 size when I'm done. So the reason I'm doing this is because this is what I have left of this paper pack. And so I'm really just needing to kind of Frankenstein my papers to come up with a base for it. And I could have used a brown piece of cardstock, quite honestly, and done some or a lighter piece, maybe beige or something like that, and kind of recreated this page. But I thought this would be kind of fun, give it a little bit of contrast. And then that way it's not really an exact mirror that I'm doing with the complementing page, that it's more of a complementary page. So one of the cool things I do have over here is this really matchy laser border that matches this side over here perfectly. So I'm just gonna put that over here somewhere. I'm not 100% sure where. I could do that. I could do this in the middle, which is kind of nice. Something like that. Let's see how the pictures look on the page and then take it from there. So we could do these a couple of different ways. Let's see here. Move that for now. I'm gonna get another. So this is where I've got the piece that's not the full size. I could do a couple of different things. I could put that blank space in the middle. I think I'm gonna do the blank space on the outside and put either journaling or an embellishment down here. Do something like that with the, where is this strip on that one? It's 2 inches. So if I wanted to replicate that bottom, I could put that there. And then I think I'll probably put the leafy stickers like on top of that. So I'm gonna use another piece of hot fudge to make that matte layer. Maybe a little dark. I should flip it around. Just see how it looks. Just the way I roll. It's a little bit of trial and error as I'm going along. Not really so much error, but just kind of seeing as how it goes as we go along. So I did 7.5. Now I have two really nice strips of this hot fudge that I can do something fun with. I can use them for mats or create some borders or do some strips, but I've got, you know, 4.5. These will be great for, would be great for using them as mats. 4-inch photo really nicely. Okay, so these photos are a little bit darker than the ones on the first page. So I do think that I will primarily, I'm going to turn this around that way and primarily have this. I cut that too short. I sure did. Oh, Skye. Now I have a lot of extra pieces of hot fudge. It's a good thing I have plenty. I'm not sure what I did there. Must have cut 2 inches off or something. I don't know. So 7.5 by 11.5. I'm going to take a 1/2 inch off the end of this. There, that's much better. Oops is right. Oops is right. It wouldn't be a layout if I didn't make a cutting error somewhere along the lines. I was too busy talking and not thinking enough. I don't know if you can see this. This is a row of Squishmallows. That is all the rage for the kids these days, or at least my kid and most of her friends. My daughter has always really loved stuffies. Since she was tiny, she's loved stuffies. So she's, she hasn't really outgrown it, and so the trend with these Squishmallows is right up her alley. So the theme of her new room is sort of a enchanted forest meets cottage core. She's got a lot of green in there. I don't know if you can see in this photo, my husband is hanging a panel that's boxwood leaf. And then it's behind her bed there. And then there's a shelf here. So it's actually, it looks really cool. I like it a lot. Using my 13-inch mat to kind of eyeball the measurement marks here. I've got a spot over here. I'm gonna put a strip of paper or something like that. So then I'm gonna go ahead and I'll use the light side of this and it will match. I just felt like the contrast against the brown on the top bit was better for my kind of ad hoc paper here. And I'm wondering if I should put something, I don't think I have that light color anywhere. I think it's okay. I'm gonna add a leafy sticker. For this, I definitely want my silicone mat and my repositional tape runner. Oops. Make sure I tape the right side. I'm going to tape the dark side, and I'm just going to take my repo and go all along it with these kind of little bits here. And then I'm going to put this at the 2 inches up from the bottom, just to replicate what's happening over there on the first page. There we go. That looks pretty cool. And I know on the camera, you can't see it too well. And to be honest, there's not a ton of contrast. So I am going to try to find a lighter piece of paper here that kind of coordinates. That's too much of a pattern. This one, it's got a fleck in it. It's not quite the same. And then that one is a little bit darker. Let's see how that looks. I think this fleck will be just fine. So I'm going to cut a 2-inch of that and put that along the bottom, just to kind of bring the eye up to this border a little bit better. And actually, I probably should have cut that. But wait, there's more. It's a 3/4 of an inch. I have a little bit more, so I'm gonna. This is a great thing that it's repositional. It's down here. And then I'll put this here. I think that looks better. All right. Yeah, you can see that a lot better. It looks nice over there. All right, and now I am ready to embellish a little bit more. So I've got my stickers here. I definitely want to use this vine. So, and it's going to add one on top or on the bottom. Let's see how it looks over here. I want it on top. And I've got 2, so I'm just going to lay this border sticker down. And so I'm using the sketch as an inspiration with that wave there, kind of replicating that there. I'll do the same on this side. On the top, so it's between the border and the photos. Okay, it does look better with the lighter color. Thank you. I think so too. I think it kind of provides just the right amount of contrast. All right, I'm going to look at my other stickers here and see what I have to add my embellishments and a bit of a title. So this is the Serenity collection, and it has a lot of sort of serene verbiage. So the there's one that says my oasis. That's perfect. And then I've got some thinking about. I'm gonna put that there. There's some me time. There's some hearts. Ooh, here's a leaf that matches kind of perfectly with this. I'm gonna take a look and see exactly where I want to put these embellishment clusters. So I always like to work and use the rule of three. So I'm thinking definitely over here is going to be one. So that means that I'm going to need to do like something like maybe here, here, and here, here. I don't want to cover up Ian too much. I could probably do one. No, I really can't do one in the middle. It needs to be down in the bottom. So, or even over here. So somewhere down here. I could also do here, here. That might work a little bit better actually, now that I'm looking at it. I think maybe I'll do something down here, something up here, and something here. That'll give me that triangle and move the eye over here. So I think save that and see what I have here. Stickers for titles. There's some great hearts, I think. Before I get going too much on that cluster, I'm going to find like a piece of paper to put there, or maybe a journal box. Like my options for journaling, I could journal down here, journal here. I think I'm more inclined to journal a bit down here. Well, this? Don't love that. I do have some scraps of some greens here. I feel like there was a green stripe in here too. There was. The back of this is a green stripe. So maybe I'll do like a little, I think that would look nice. I'll put that. Like that. Yeah. All right. So these are 3.5 long, and I need it to be without my little ruler. All right, Rosemary, I will see you later. Thanks for joining. All right. So this, I want to make it about, I think 1 1.25 wide. Sneak this in there. Something like that. I have some little sure about that. Maybe put that here. Yeah. I'll put it there. Okay, so there's my little embellishment cluster there. I'm gonna take my lined paper. I'm gonna cut about this needs to be about an inch and a quarter, inch and 3/4. Oh, they're nice. Look at that. I actually, I think I'll use this one instead. Just set it off a little bit without having to mat it. My journal box here is 1 3/4 by 5. I'm just gonna put that there. Yeah, that looks nice on here. This is some of the natural lined paper. Okay, so I need a couple more embellishment clusters. Let's see what I have here. Replace stickers. I've got some white hearts, which look pretty nice. I think maybe actually I'll use this guy to be along here. In the middle. Some hearts. There. And then use that one. Oh, there's another heart here that's got a little bit more of a contrast to it, so maybe I'll layer that a little bit. Maybe smaller than the white one, so I really can't tuck it behind there. And then I've got these guys, and one of these word phrases would probably be nice. I'm struggling to figure out which one is the best one. Maybe, this one is serenity. It says serenity, the state of being calm, peaceful, and untroubled. Oh, I think let's have a so relaxing. It truly was a big goal of creating this space was for it to be, a very comfortable, cozy, peaceful space. I do feel that we achieved that. I hope Nora thinks so too. So I think I really use this one, and I've got this leafy vine that I can kind of put behind there. Maybe something like that. Pop this up on some foam squares. Set that there. Easier said than done. Oh, there they are. There they are. I really try to remember to use foam squares where I can. They do add so much to your page, and I don't always remember to do it as well as I should. But just a little bit right there. There, I think that looks great. Really nice, actually. And then let's see, I think got these nice little arrows. I'm gonna pull my add a little bit of movement to the page here. Just kind of putting those there so that I have a sense of where they're going. I love my multi-purpose tool. Just looking at the comments here, guys. All right. And I think find another part here. Get the best placement on here as I can. Don't know that it really matters a ton. I'm kind of just being maybe a little unnecessarily fussy about that. I'm going to stick that there like that. There's my heart sticker. Don't want to stick that down where it doesn't belong. There. It's kind of falling off the page a little bit more in there. Okay. All right. I think that's looking pretty good. You know, when I finish it up, I may just looking to see if there's any sort of quick, easy things. I've got a couple more little hearts on here. But I think that's pretty good. And then I'll just journal right here. So I've got my embellishment cluster here, here, and here. Let's just kind of recap here with the sketch a little bit. So what I've done is I've taken the sketch that would have been like this with the photos going horizontal. For my vertical photos, I just turned that page 90 degrees. I kept the movement of the wave shape using the border sticker here. I added a title sticker with some embellishments here, a little bit of an embellishment cluster up there. My journal box is down here on this page. I've done the orientation the way that it is indicated true to the sketch. I converted a vertical photo here and just added a little bit of an embellishment and a paper block there. Again, sort of replicated the border over from one page to the next. So I think, and I added some paper layering by matting my photos on the cardstock there. So that is sketch number one. That took us about an hour. I wasn't scrapbooking the whole time. I was late coming in, and I did a little bit of chatting at the beginning. So I'd say probably took about 35, maybe 40 minutes, probably 40 minutes to do that page. So I'd love to hear what you think. I think it turned out pretty well. Uh, okay, so I'm gonna set that layout aside. I'm just gonna spend a second here to tidy up my space and get ready for the next layout. It's kind of like cooking, right? Everything has its place and mise en place, right? And I'm not French, and so I probably did not say that at all properly, but that's how I was taught to say it. Mise en place maybe is the correct French pronunciation, but it just basically means everything has its place. So whether you're in the kitchen or scrapbooking, I think that's a good rule to live by. Just helps you keep things. It makes your scrapbooking experience so much more fun when you can find what you're looking for, for sure. And it also is so much more efficient when you aren't spending a lot of time looking for things, and instead you're actually working. Then you're spending a lot less time doing the things you don't like to do, like organize, and a lot more time doing the things we do like to do, like create. So bear with me while I just tidy up a little bit. So I'd love to hear what you guys are working on, what photos, what activities have you done this year. I kicked off the year, like I said, doing some, wasn't really renovation. There wasn't a lot of construction involved in this. We did build a shelf. I say, again, I'm being very generous with myself as I say we built a shelf, disassembled and reassembled that the bed, kind of deconstructed it and made 3 pieces out of one. It made all the difference in the world. I have often said I was so proud of myself when I got that loft bed for her, until about day 2, when I just realized the bed was, for the shape of the room and the shape of the bed, just didn't go well together. The room is fairly good size, but the way that the two kind of worked together just made it seem awful dark, and it took up a lot of space in the room, left a lot of unusable space. So with it the way that it is now, it's just so much more open and comfortable and cozy, and it's great. She loves it. I love it. It's good stuff. All right, so let's now move on to sketch number 2. So look at that, guys. We've already got the first activity of 2025 scrapbooked. It's ready to go in an album. I will say I need to, oh, I forgot I had these. You guys ever do that? You're like, oh, wait, there's more. There's journal boxes. I do have that one. That one might be kind of cute to figure out how to add to that page. I might go back and tweak that just a touch. I'm looking to see if there's any titles on these. Oh, this would also go in there pretty nicely, either side. Looking to see if there's any titles that I could add. So I just felt a little like the word art was not all that I would have liked it to be. So no, it doesn't look like it. But I'm gonna set those aside and put them with the pages, because I might end up figuring out if there's a way I could incorporate those on there. All right. If any of you are Seinfeld fans, whenever I think of this Serenity product, I always think of Serenity now. Uh, let's see this for the rest of us. Um, okay, so sketch number two. I'm also very excited about this one. My husband and I have really come to enjoy birding. We're super amateur birders. Let me be very clear about that. And we definitely don't have the cameras that serious birders have. I do have a pair of binoculars though. A really nice pair of binoculars that I got for Mother's Day, that are pretty awesome for the birds that we do see. I've always kind of liked to bird. When I lived in Maryland, I had amazing backyard birds at my house that I enjoyed and got a lot of joy out of watching. Um, and I had my little bird book, and we had feeders, and it was really nice. But as it turns out, Arizona is a birding haven. People love to bird here. People love to bird here, but people come from all over the world to bird here. There's amazing species of birds in Arizona, very much variable. So, for example, there's 15 different kinds of hummingbirds that pass through here that either are full-time residents or migratory. So, there's your um, there's your bird knowledge for the day. So as you might expect, birding takes place outdoors, and so my outdoor photos I do are always, like most people's, they have a lot of blue and green in them, and in this case also gold. So I thought, wow, this paper looks fantastic with these photos. Camera, you can't see it. This is a dark green. Let's see, I'll tell a little bit better if I get a little closer. Yeah, it's brighter than it looks on camera. There it looks very kind of gray, but it's green. So this sketch has layers and a border. It's got squares and square photos and then a vertical. So I'm going to do this pretty much this exact page for the left-hand side layout, page one. And then for page two, I'm actually going to make a grid of the 3x3s. So that'll allow me to put on quite a few photos of my birds from here. This was last weekend. We went to a place called Sweetwater Pavilion. And I love talking about this because it is not Sweetwater Pavilion, Sweetwater Wetlands. It is a wetlands in the middle of the city of Tucson, and it is a water reclamation area that is owned by the city. It's part of the city park system, Tucson Water District, which is just incredibly cool how they've created this beautiful oasis in the middle of urban Tucson, to create this amazing habitat. So I'm going to use these two pieces as my base, and then there is a 10.5 by 8.5 inch layer on each of them. So I'm going to use this blue cardstock for those. So I've got 10.5 by 8.5. I'm going to cut my 8.5 first, so I end up with my largest strips. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to repeat that. So I've got both of them done. As you were watching, you probably were saying, Skye, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, I cut it wrong again, so I'm gonna have to grab another piece of paper. Once again, it's a good thing I have. No, I don't tell me I don't have it. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, 8.5 by 10.5, not 8.5 by 8.5. Okay. And then this bottom strip here is 10.5 by 2. So I've got these guys, pieces of each of them, scraps from before. So I'm just going to use the opposite on them. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 2-inch piece. It's 10.5. And 10.5. So I can go ahead and create these layers on both sides. I'm gonna line this up and again, so that way I have my, this is 10.5, so it's gonna give me 3/4 of an inch on either side. And I'm gonna put this, this makes a total of 10.5. Okay, so I'm gonna do 3/4 of an inch down, 3/4 of an inch on either side. So my 13-inch mat makes that really simple to see exactly where this should go. I don't know why I flipped that over. It's the same on both sides. So about 3/4 of an inch there, 3/4 there, there and there. Looks good. All right, and then let's go right along the bottom. Repeat that over here. It doesn't really matter. Repo would work as well. Got a lot of tape runner choices on my desk at the moment between the tape gun and the regular, the repo. You never have too many adhesive choices, if you ask me. All right. So this is going to be two fairly identical pages. I'm going to do something different with the photo configuration on each of them, but in terms of the base page and how that's going to look, I'm going to put that there. Now I'm going to use this gold to make the border that goes between these two pieces. I just am not exactly sure what tool I'm going to use to cut that border. Do a border maker cartridge or a border punch, or maybe even just a wavy. One of the things I was thinking about, there's a border maker cartridge that sort of matches this fan shape that is in this paper. I don't know if you can see that from there, but this BMC fairly, not even fairly, almost exactly replicates the shape in the paper, if you can. Yeah, you can see it there. And then this BMC. There we go. I just realized I could improve my lighting in here just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. There, that's better, isn't it? Okay, much better. So I'll probably go with that just to kind of make that complimentary, but I'm gonna wait just a little bit. Okay, so now I have the hard choice of picking out my photos. I love these guys. I really love this one. My Ian is a great photographer. But there's one, oh shoot, did I print out the wrong one? There was one with this in this lake that had a, oh, here it is. Oh, but of course it's going the other direction. Maybe I'll figure out a way to do horizontal on those. So now I've got all my birds. So who wants to be here about my birds? There's a killdeer, there's a green heron, there's a great egret. This is a vermilion flycatcher, a yellow-rumped warbler, a ladderback woodpecker, quail. Here's another warbler. I think I'll use this picture of the warbler. Here I have the Wilson snipe, but I have a better picture of the snipe. I think I'm going to use this one. So I essentially need 9 for one page and 3 for the other. And this is a sandpiper. So lots of waders that day and a great heron. And then here's me with my binoculars. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe. And I could use this guy as the big one because these are going to be 3 by 3. I think I can make those all work. So I can cut these all down to 3 by 3. You know, that makes a total of 12, but I'd really like, so maybe I could do, I'm talking out loud here. Maybe what I'll do is do this and do 3 across the bottom and do nine on this side. Six, seven, eight. That is 9. Then 3 across the bottom. Do me and that guy. Thinking this guy's big, so I could do 6. Yeah, and 3. That works. So 3, 6. I'm just doing the math in my head, and that's 10, and it's 10 and a half. So I think that will work. Okay. I got it, guys. I got it. I think I'll put my little waders together. Those are my little killdeer. These guys here. All right. I have a plan. I'd like to incorporate my nerdy self in there, but we'll see how that goes. I might do. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so I need to start cutting. An organic process, guys. as I go along. So each of these needs to be 3 by 3. So I'm gonna cut. This is an adorable little Gambril's quail. We have a lot of them here. I get some in my backyard from time to time, but they have that great little plume on their head that just makes them super cute. This green heron was a very exciting get. I've been wanting to see one for a long time. I knew that they did in fact have them there at the wetlands, but we'd never seen one. And that day we saw two. Right, they were together, so I don't know if it was a pair or just coincidence or what. The one thing I don't have any pictures of, ironically, is ducks. There were hundreds and hundreds of ducks, and a lot of different kinds. There was like shovelers and mallards. That's just to name a few. I don't know my ducks super well, but uh, I did cinnamon teals. There were teals, beautiful. The cinnamon teal is gorgeous, actually. They're very distinctive. They are the color of cinnamon. And they are just really, really pretty. These little yellow rump warblers are also super cute. There's a lot of them around. There in that particular I don't have, I've had one in my backyard that I've seen. Of course, they probably come when I'm not around. Um, they're pretty cute too. And the male and female are very different from one another. As is the case with many birds. Let's see if I can squeeze this on there. Yeah. So it'll be a tight squeeze to get that on there. Had I realized, maybe I'll trim this down just a little bit, get this guy down to 3.5. And then I have a little more space to play with there with my borders. Yeah, I like that better. So that gives me about 1/4 of an inch all around all of them. That looks great. That looks great. I might maybe move this guy to the middle. No, I think I'll keep it down to the bottom. Possibly. Let's see. All right, so that means then I also want to trim this down. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so here's my little lesser sandpiper. So I have this, there's some nerdy bird facts. I have this app that's like the Shazam for birds. And when it hears a bird call, it will identify it for you. And within that app, there is every day a bird of the day. And it's always very exciting when you see your bird of the day, or at least for me, it's very exciting to see the bird of the day. And this guy, the little lesser sandpiper, was the bird of the day that day. So it was pretty cool, especially considering, these are water birds, they're waders. So I really have to be out birding in water areas, which, as you might imagine, in southern Tucson or southern Arizona, there's not a lot of places where you find bodies of water. So anyway, that worked out pretty perfectly that was the bird that day. So let's kind of see how this is looking. And I love these little killdeer. The Skye. I grew up around some killdeer from time to time, and they are called killdeer because that's the sound that they make. I didn't know this was going to be a scrapbooking and a bird lesson. Did you? Okay, so yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I kind of, as much as I'm kind of dissing it, I do like this picture of me in here. That's pretty good. So I added a lot of photos to this layout. It was a 4-page lay or 4-photo layout on one page. I made it 5 on one and 7 on the other. With still with room to journal. I'm gonna put another box right here, and that's gonna be my journal box right there. Okay, so, and I'm not gonna do any matting here because there is good layers of paper that I think work just fine for the mats. So I'm gonna start actually on this page. It's the easiest. And I was able to get these on here with about that 1/4 of an inch all around. So I'm just gonna start adhering them. I don't really have these in any particular order. I'm sure a proper birder would want to see them in some order, whether it's by their species, their genus. Now we're talking about scientific terms I really don't know much about. But I did put my waders all together on one page. So that was kind of me grouping them by a particular style. Over here, there's 2 herons and the egret. They're cousins, if you will. This guy's a flycatcher. This is a warbler and a woodpecker, which is in the woodpecker tree climber family. And the quail, I'm not too sure what family the quail is in, what they're related to. There are different types of quail. This is the most common, the Gambros quail. There's certain times a year where I see them almost every day just while I'm out and about driving down the road or pulling into my neighborhood or out for a bike ride or something. They're fairly common. The vermilion flycatcher is also a common bird in Tucson, but I never get tired of seeing it. It is so strikingly beautiful. It's bright red and black. And it's a little flycatcher, so you see it in the morning and in the evening. I see them primarily well, when you're near the water, you kind of can see them any time of day. In my neighborhood, we see them more in the evening, swooping down and catching mosquitoes and other dinner time bugs. They're kind of let's say, the mascot bird of Tucson. That would probably be the roadrunner, but the vermilion flycatcher is actually, I'm gonna put these guys on here first. You know what I did too is I adhered um I adhered these down before I put down the border. Just kind of want to get the spacing of these and then kind of replicate that up on top. Yeah, that looks about right. I'm gonna probably end up lifting, particularly on this side, lifting those guys up and replacing them. If you notice, I got a little stuffed up here. I'm not sure what's happening with my congestion. I'm curious if you guys do a lot of scrapbooking of your hobbies. I mean, that's one obvious thing that we would scrapbook, but sometimes, we kind of get caught up in scrapping holidays and family and special occasions. And, do we take time to scrapbook our hobby? If your hobby is scrapbooking, it's a little hard to scrapbook scrapbooking, but if you go on weekend retreats and things like that, there's usually photos involved. I really, uh, we hike a lot and we bird watch a lot. So a lot of my photos are of those kinds of things. Go to some concerts. I have some concert photos to scrap here as well. So I've got my photos all on here. I'm super excited about how this looks. Um, I think I will definitely go ahead with that border maker cartridge. I'm gonna look real quick at what I have left for this paper pack came with a small pack of embellishments and I've used some of them. But not all of them. So simple moments, real life. These all work pretty well, actually. Documented. Yeah, I think these will work great, actually. This might be kind of fun to, I don't know, do something like that. Or maybe this guy, since it might be too dark though. No, it's a little bit too small. Yeah, it might want to make not enough contrast. I think actually it looks pretty good here. I'm gonna do it down like that, just to add some interest to that. Um, maybe put this little documented there. Um, this guy. Uh, definitely put that there. So again, if I'm thinking about my trio or my triangle, I probably want something in here. Um, real life is not my favorite phrase for this page, but it's not terrible. And it's what I have, and it goes with the theme pretty well. So that's probably what I'll do here for embellishments. I'm going to grab my border maker system here. Make out these borders. I'm just gonna set that over here. So the border maker system is 3 parts. You've got a cartridge, the housing, and the paper holder. You just pop the cartridge into the housing. There's these little teeth on it here. I'm just gonna give a quick tutorial on this. And then you have the paper holder. So it's got a arm that extends on the bottom. And then it's got this magnetic strip here, and so that this closes and stays nice and tight. There's a measurement marks there, a ruler, and this is going to be fairly close, this piece of paper. Ideally, you would use a piece of paper that's got at least 4 inches long. I need to get 2 out of here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cheat a little bit and use some sticky notes to hold this in place so that it doesn't move. You could also use a repositional tape runner and slide that along the bottom there. All right, and then you'll notice that there's little notches along here. So the notches align with the notches on the border maker cartridge. So you slide the paper in through the slot on the border maker cartridge. You get those notches all lined up so that they're in alignment. There's also a little, not really a notch, but a bit that lines up, a bit that is here that lines up with each of these little pieces on the outside too. So that way you can just kind of visually line those up. And then I just press it down like a punch. And then I move it to the next set of notches and press down. Just keep moving along until I reach the last bit. And then I've got this beautiful border that's gonna look great on this page. It actually looks awesome, I think. Kind of also the lines on the railing there somehow sort of come together nicely there. And then you've got what I call punch poop left. Sometimes these pieces can be useful. This actually would make a banner along, if you pieced it together. Be super honest, I can't be bothered with that for tonight's layouts. Another thing that's really nice is this piece. It looks like mine broke off, but like this is a really narrow piece and it seems a little fussy, but that could be just like the perfect line on something. And here I could actually use this to go along the bottom of this piece. It's super narrow. Some of them are wider than others. And then I need to do that again, and the amount of paper I have is just barely going to work, but it will. I'm going to do the same thing, put this in here. It's a little tricky with the pieces already attached. I might have to take them off, but I might be able to get it in with them on there. I'm not. I'm going to take these off and reapply it. All right, so I've got this set in there just right. It is almost too narrow to put in here, but challenge accepted. I'm just gonna repeat that. This one is super tricky because it is just wide enough to fit on there, even with the sticky note. So I'm really making the most of this piece of paper. And I'm sorry, it's really shaking my camera when I punch this. So, all right. All right, I've got my 2 borders. I'm going to go ahead and those on. I'll set these aside for another day. Sticky notes are so helpful in scrapbooking. I always keep a nice stash of them um, wherever I'm working. All right, so in this instance, I do want to keep those photos just a little bit behind this border. So I'm gonna get so I don't need to lift anything on this one. Repositional tape runner, where are you? There it is. There, get this lined up on the. I can't remember what this border maker cartridge is called. I want to say it's probably Crescent Fan or something like that. That's super pretty. Looks great. And then on this one, I'm gonna need to lift these guys. My multi-purpose tool, the best gadget in scrapbooking. If you haven't gotten one of those, I highly recommend it. It's not a huge investment. I think they're $8. And they're awesome. The first one I ever had, I had probably 15 years. And it finally met the end of its life, actually not too long ago. So I probably had it for more than 15 years. I could be able to fit that under here. All right, I'll take those off. I thought I was going to be clever and be able to do it without taking them off. But I'm not. All right, so I'm going to line that up. Always love the look of bridging the seam between two pieces of paper with something, whether it's a border sticker or a strip of paper. I did actually put these in different places, but I kind of like this one down here better. It doesn't really matter. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and just add my other embellishments here. I think I had decided to do that guy there and something like that. Right. Down a little bit more like that. Kind of take up this space here. Because I don't want to put a journal box here because it would cover up this border, and I like the way that looks. So I might just do a quick little bit of journaling. Oh, I had thought maybe this blends in too much with this. Put it over here. I might just do I'm gonna fool around with that a little bit here. I might not end up using that at all. All right. Then see. I did decide, did I want it? Yeah, want it not going this way. Yeah, it actually works out really nice. It actually works out really nice. And then I do still need to figure out, I think I'll probably use where are my bear with my this life stuff. I was thinking maybe I'll use my little write-on sticker strips and actually make a note of what these guys all are. I'll do that. Bear with me for just a second. I'm just gonna grab those. I've really been enjoying or using these a lot, the write-on stickers. I've used, there's two in a pack. The one sheet is a 3/8 of an inch wide and one is 1/4 of an inch wide. I've used all of the 3/8 of an inch, so I've got my 1/4 inch, and you know, they're 6 inches wide and you just cut them to length. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this now. And there's my button. So I'm gonna write lesser Sam. This there's one of these birds is called the Wilson's snipe. So we made a lot of Wesley Snipe jokes about this guy. Bird humor. I actually need to look up how to spell killdeer. I think it only has one L. And a great heron. I think the killdeer is. Oh, it is. Okay. So then I'm gonna get my scissors out, ideally. There we go, here we are. This is the great thing about these fine tipped scissors. They are made of Teflon, so when you cut through stickers, they don't stick, which is really awesome. So just kind of lay these over. My friend Wesley, the Wilson snipe. So I'm just gonna kind of stick these on where they work. The killdeer, I respelled it. Ambrose quail. I see this picture of this heron and I still get excited. It was such a great catch. I want to cut that. Oh, I think that'll work. Oh, that'll work. I am gonna want to put the second one on this guy though, I think. Rumped warbler. It's a big name for a tiny bird. Put this here. A little bit. I also really like the look of these right on stickers. I think it's kind of fun to have this kind of like label looking titles on things. I use them mostly for titles, although I have oh, wrong bird, guys. I made this a great bird. Is that gonna come off? Okay, here. This here. That was nearly a identification disaster. Probably nobody looking at this going in the future would know. Nope, that guy there. And I think I need to. So just it's too. There we go. All right, so I have all my little labels done, and I think still, I might even put that. Needs to be. And I do have this, so I've got my triangle going. And I could maybe this under. Yeah, I think I could probably. I'm going to rearrange this a little bit. I did put it down in repositional, so it actually works out okay. I think what I'll just do here with my blue pen, wherever I might have put it. I'm very careful about what I write because like the spacing, I write everything in pencil first. So I want to write down here, Sweetwater wetlands, just to make sure that it's fitting on my piece of paper. The way that I want it to. So I just wrote Sweetwater Wetlands, January 2025 on there. I don't know if you guys use this eraser. It's just the Pentel high polymer white erasers. They are so good because I do write almost everything in pencil first and then erase it off. So it's important to have the right kind of pencil and eraser. This particular pencil, I think, is something left over from my daughter's, like Christmas grab bag from second grade, probably. Um, so that is not the best example of a great pencil, but the eraser, it certainly is. And then I'm just gonna tuck this under here a little bit. Actually, I think I won't tuck it under because it's got that pattern on it and I don't really need to since I moved that up. All right, actually that fits in there really nicely, I think. I love your opinion, but that way I can just have that over. Yeah, I think that turned out great. And there's really not much else to journal here. I mean, I could talk about the fact that it was actually very cold out that morning and that kind of thing, but I think just seeing all the birds is the pictures tell the story. Nothing, um, I don't think really anything further needs to be said. I mean, if I were to, I might say something about the fact that it was a great day to see the waders. Because we don't usually see those. It's that time of year they're coming through. So that was good. Okay. Page 2 is done. That one took a little bit, about the same, actually, about 40 minutes. So I think now is a great time to take a little bit of a bathroom break, a stretch break. So I'm gonna put the time on here. Different. I can say it is 7:55, so I'm gonna say we'll be back at 8:05 p.m. We're gonna take 10-minute break, okay? 8:05 p.m. All right, we'll see you in just a few minutes, guys. right, guys, I am back. I'm gonna give it just a couple of minutes before I get started, since I did say it would be 8:05. So just in case anybody is out there, I don't want you to miss anything. So I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a tidy up here to get ready for layout number 3. Doing that, let's talk snacks. Who's got their scrapbooking snacks? So I brought my drink. This is my soda drink of choice. I'm trying to cut back on soda. I have, I'm also trying to cut back on snacks. You would never know that by what I'm about to show you. So hot tamales are my #1 favorite scrapbooking snack. I also really love peach rings, and so I have some peach rings as well. These are my healthier snacks. So I've got pretzels and almonds. These are good crunchy snacks that don't leave anything on your fingers, so that you can scrapbook and snack on these things pretty well. Peach rings are a little dicey because they have that kind of little fine sugar coating on the outside, so I probably wouldn't scrapbook with those, but hot tamales is another story. Love them. All right, so it's 8:05. Oh, look who's joined me. This is Finn. He's my scrap cat. He needs to get down. Sketch number 3. This one is kind of stretching it a little bit with the product on this one. This is pictures of a hockey match, hockey game. It's a University of Arizona hockey team. Their colors are red, white, and blue. So I'm using the Patriotic Collection US of Yay, because it is red, white, and blue. I also have some other reds in here, but I think I'm going to use that. I've got some borders. Hopefully some of those borders will work, even though they're not. Yeah, I think they will. Okay. So this is sketch number 3. This is a fun one. It's got, and it's a pretty basic layout. So just bring it up to you. The base page has a layer over it, similar to the last one that we did. Is almost exactly, actually, it's 10.5 by 10.5 is that second layer. This one would be a good one to create a frame so that you're not using so much paper or wasting so much paper behind the frame. And then it's got some circles and just pretty standard size photos. So the circles will use the custom cutting system, which is always really fun. So that'll be, this will be a fun layout. I'm gonna open my drink here. I should have done this while I was on break, but so I'd love to know what snacks you guys wrap up with. I'm sorry you're hearing me crunching. I didn't really have dinner, and it's 8 o'clock my time, so getting a little peckish. All right, I also did not pull out these papers ahead of time, so we're gonna make choices here together. This back side, it looks striped, but it says United States of America on it. And it's got stars on the front. This one is definitely very flag, but I do like the blue. This is great. It looks a little bit like ice blue. And these American flags, the red on that is super pretty. And then this stripe has that blue, which is also really pretty. And then there's a plaid, which is nice. Navy.
And then there's this plaid, which is also kind of nice. Not a great hockey color, I think. Okay, so I've ruled out this paper entirely. And I think I've probably also ruled out this one. Kind of thinking that I like this light blue for the background. And then maybe the dark blue for the dark blue plaid for the overlay. And then I'm gonna matte, I think, in the red. So I don't need this medium blue. Save that for another day. Probably only need one of these pages. So we're gonna do a frame, guys. Show you how that works. It's super easy and with this the Creative Memories 12-inch trimmer. I actually did a video on it. If you want to go to my YouTube page, you can see some instructional content on that. So the inside frame, well, this is actually double layered. I didn't even notice that. I like that actually because it gives you a little bit more dimension. So I wonder, come back there with this red. I'm just gonna taking another look at how this would look with an extra layer. We could also use cardstock. If we did one layer red and then this guy, I think that's really pretty. However, then I'm not seeing a whole lot of this ice blue color. I almost wonder, maybe I should do the dark blue, the red, and then this ice blue. That actually, I think, is best. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, so change of plan. The dark blue is the base layer. And I think I'm actually going to cut 2 frames here because it just kills me to use so much paper on this. So you're going to see the economical Skye come out here a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to cut a 1-inch frame. Anything smaller than that is just a little bit hard to work with. So that means that I'm going to cut the center part out of this piece of paper so that only that remains is a frame that then I can start creating my layers on. So in order to do that, I'm going to line this up on the 1-inch line here. And this housing on the blade, trimmer blade, is 2 inches long. There's a white line at 1 inch. There's 2 ways to know where to start cutting. One is that I can take this down to the 1 inch here and line that white line up on that. The other thing I can do is I can pull this trimmer housing all the way down to the 2 on my numbers, my ruler here, and I know that 1 inch is where the blade would start. So either one will work. And then I'm going to take it down and end it at the 12 instead of cutting all the way through. And that means that then the blade actually stops at the 11. So now I have a cut that has 1 inch on either side. And then I'm just going to rotate my paper 90 degrees and continue to do that 3 more times so that I've got the center cut out of my piece of paper. Right, and there we go, magic. So this, now I can use it for mats or, you know, as an element of a page, and it hasn't gone to waste. Yep, I'm gonna do that again. This is a great trick not only to minimize waste and maximize your paper, but it also keeps your pages a little bit lighter in weight. The thickness doesn't build up as much. So when you're putting together your album, then you're just not dealing with, you know, a lot of heavy, thick pages, and you can get more pages in your album the thinner they are. Because this has 3 layers on it. That would, even if you're using designer paper, that gets, you know, fairly good sized um, fairly quickly. All right, and then I'm going to cut my next layer, which we agreed collectively would be the red one. Now this guy is 11.5 by 11.5. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut this down. This will give me a nice 1/2 inch strip that I could use in a border. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Cut a 1 inch frame. This one didn't go all the way through. Just gonna get my scissors out and trim it up. No, I didn't take it. Oh, you know why? Because I cut this too short. Put it on the 1/2 inch line. Now this one's gonna be a little tricky. It'll work, but do as I say and not as I do. This one is gonna be a lopsided frame. And it's just barely gonna be wide enough for the paper, but it is gonna work. All right. And then we do that again. So I'm gonna cut this down to 11.5 by 11.5. And then my 1 inch frame. Taking care to put it all the way to the 1 inch line. That one is good. Okay, so I can now adhere these guys together. Oh, before I put the trim away, I'm gonna cut this bit. This piece is 10.5 by 10.5. Definitely make a fun border project with what's left here. It's great. Easy peasy border right there. All right. Camera side now. Little cute little strips here. Because it is a frame, you want to just make sure that you're putting your adhesive just around the edge and don't drift too much in the middle, because then your tape will stick to stuff that you don't want it to stick to. I want this. I guess it doesn't really matter because I can turn it around. So I'm just creating and centering this on this piece of paper. It's going to have about a 1/2 inch border around the edge. I'll do the same with this one. This one has a narrower edge. It's only 1/4 inch around. Well, I could turn the page however I want, but it's just habit here. All right, so that's my first base page complete. I'll just repeat this exactly the way we did the first one. Really like this red paper. It has a diagonal line on it. Now this is the one where at the bottom I trimmed really close, so I just have to keep an eye on that and make sure that I don't have a gap there. It's going to be really, really close because it's essentially the same width as the border should be. And I did get some tape on there. I'm actually just going to do a little tape there so that it's on the edge nicely. All right. And then the corners on this guy. Finish this up here. All right. All right, so now I've got my 2 base pages. And now I just need to go through and take a look at my photos and identify which ones are going to be which. So I need probably put this one down here. I feel like that's both basically the same photo. On there. Oh, this is a good one. I could do this as a 4 by. Probably do this is the 5 by 4. Well, those are both 5 by 4. So I could do. Oops, dropping my photos. could do that and now I'm gonna check and see if I have. Might have to put one of these as a journal box. Might not have. Or change the orientation of these a little bit. So I've got circle, circle. All right, let's see. I might put this one. Just bear with me a little bit here while I figure this out. I realize I don't have any vertical pictures, which is really funny because normally I don't have any horizontal. So that's ironic. I think I'll do that, make that a 4x4, make that a circle, make this a circle, and make this a circle. I'm actually gonna put this picture in because those two are very similar. And then I'm either gonna do journaling here or I might just end up printing out another photo. If I can find a vertical one. Okay, so let's trim our photos. I'm gonna do circles first. So I'm using the custom cutting system. This is the smallest circle is 4 inches. So the circle is the photo circle is 4 inches and the mat is 4.5. So that's the smallest blade with the red and the blue on the outside track. So I don't think, yeah, that doesn't make the best circle photo. Do that as a circle. I'm still sort of struggling to figure out what I should do here. I think I'm going to put this one in the bottom. This is make a circle. I could do this pretty easily as a circle. I do that there, do that there, and those two are circles. Okay, I think I've got it. So these 3 photos are going to be my circles. I'm going to go ahead and trim these. Just going to center that on the image that I want to circle. And make sure my feet of my red blade are firmly in the track. So there's circle number 1. Here's Ian and I. Always lift the photo off, the background of the photo off first to make sure that I cut it all the way through. So in this case, it's a good thing I did that because it's just a little bit that hadn't cut away there. All right, and then
This was actually a really enjoyable hockey game. I'm a fairly big hockey fan, and my husband, who's English, is getting into hockey. And we went with friends to see the University of Arizona play, and they have just a rec team, not a full-on D1 hockey match or hockey team club. So it's was fun to see them play, and it was actually a more enjoyable game than we had recently gone to see our AHL team, our local AHL, which is the American Hockey League, essentially the minor leagues of hockey. We had gone to see them play the week between Christmas and New Year's, and we enjoyed watching the U of A play more than we did them. It was just a lot more fun for some reason. And I'd gone to the AHL games quite a few times and always had a good time, but anyway, we like sports in our house. I didn't fully verify that that was out of there, so. So this is a great example of how useful using this frame is, because now I had this piece of paper that I can use as my backing, my mats for my circle photos, so. It just makes me feel good about using things wisely. It was a paper that I didn't really love, or a pack that I wasn't sure if I had much of a use for it. I might not be so diligent about being conservative with the paper, but okay. So I think I had decided to do maybe those two. Okay. I'm gonna put a mat on these other photos as well. So this one is supposed to be 5x4. I'm gonna make it 5 or 4. In order to match this mat, I need to make it 4.5 by 3.5. I don't know if it's quite 4.5. Yeah, I think I can do that. And then the other one is going to be 3.5 by 3.5. This one is for 4.5 by 3.5.
All right, and I'll cut these mats and I think I probably should have enough of the blue to do them all. So this one I can get 4x4 out of. Might actually be able to get one of the bigger ones out of it, 5x4. Okay. I have plenty of paper here to do this. Then I am gonna go ahead and cut a 4x6. This 6 inches. Oh, how beautiful does that work out, guys? Look at that paper Jenga. Awesome. What I'm gonna do is these two there, and this here. Okay, now I can just go ahead and adhere my photos to my mats. It's kind of stating the obvious, but I am so excited about having these layouts done. I mean, we were literally just at this hockey game 2 weeks ago. I love that. Those bird pictures we took last weekend. It's just such a great feeling to know that I'm already on top of my scrapbooking for this year, and just makes such a nice peace of mind, and it's so much easier to I wouldn't say easier, but it's nice to scrapbook things when it's fairly current, because it just you just get that sort of, it's just fresh. Everything's super fresh in your mind about, you know, all the details of the event. It makes it nice. Just a little bit. Okay. I am gonna have to come back to this one because this space is a little bit big for a journal box. I felt like cutting it down would leave a lot of empty space on the page. So I'm just gonna, I have more photos from that night. So I think I'll just find a good vertical photo to add to the page. And then I want to kind of line these up so I'm working on from the same line going across. I want to make sure that they line up nice and straight. In the 2 pages. Mhm. Let's see. About like that, I think. I'm trying to just Center it, eyeball it a little. Smudge from a little bit. I got the. There we go. I think that's pretty straight. Okay, so doesn't really have border. You could definitely use border, you know, you could put a border along the bottom or the top. If you wanted to zhuzh up the page a little bit, the sketch doesn't show one, but you know, I think something like that would not be terrible. Well, this one almost looks, it's supposed to be fireworks, I'm sure, but it almost looks like snow. Yeah, it's fireworks. There's another one of these. We do something like that. What else do we have here? That's the only one that there's two of. That's nice that that worked out, actually. I think I may use that, even though, you know, the page doesn't really see. How do I want to do that? Like that? And I could do one of each, actually. I could put one on the bottom and one on the top. That might be kind of nice, actually. Except that I feel like it would need to go that if we're gonna do it that way. I might just do them both across the top. I think that looks nice. And then I have some stickers. They're 4th of July stickers, so I'm not sure if well, not necessarily 4th of July, but patriotic. Somewhere. These stickers are actually from a different collection, but it's the same patriotic one, just a different previous year. There's some gold stars. Oh, what a blast. That would actually probably be okay. There's some fireworks things there. There's these stickers. Definitely very much a 4th of July thing. But what do you guys think about using the What a Blast title on here? Maybe just kind of putting that down here. I think I'm going to do it. Some stars around there. Oh, lots of these stars come around. So, no, this is a good example of doing something a little non-traditional with the product, as different than what it's intended for, I guess is what I would say. I'm gonna leave
got this one. Oh, I need to put those on. I might have some title phrases and sports and with some of my sports stuff. So I'm gonna have to dig those out. That's gonna take me a second to find. I think that looks, oh, that's not what I was gonna do, was it? No. Positional tape to the rescue. I'm gonna put some stars over here too. Some of that adhesive kind of pulled it up a little bit. So I'll just cover that. I almost did it again. Okay. I feel like this needs one more star. There. All right. I'm gonna just do a quick look here in my I've got football and baseball. Checking to see if any of these football or baseball ones are generic enough to be other sports, but it doesn't look like they are. But I think I'd have some things I can use here. Let's see here. So this was part of the school collection. Team player, there's a trophy. I don't think I'd use that. Champion, game on. That one would work for sure. Victory, win, for the win. Oh yeah, we're finding some good things here. Teamwork, it's red, I like that. Score, All-Star, Big Meet, MVP. Okay, so that was very productive. What else I have? I think these are mostly academics, and that's performing arts. I'm just gonna double check this to make sure. Yeah, these are all academics, but that's good. We got some good choices there. I'm very happy about that, actually. So let's see here. We can definitely do for the win down here. I might end up taking that sticker off, to be honest, because now I have this other stuff. It doesn't look so great. But since I just put it on there, I think I'll be able to get it up just fine. Yeah, no problem. I'll just need to get my stars out. I'm the only one that does this. See, you never know. Just a little sprinkle of stars.
Move this one. All right. Okay. So I think I'll use that. Game on, or maybe I'll use victory down here for the win. Victory. The other one has more colorful. I think I'll do that. And then teamwork over here. Or do that. I think that works. Yeah, that works better. I don't know. It's kind of getting a little inside hockey at that point. I think that does it better, actually. And then I need some sort of embellishments there. I'm not 100% sure what they would be. I will. I'll find one for sure. And I might just get, I have Star Punch. Maybe I'll get the Star Punch out and kind of punch some stars around that guy. This was actually an exciting game. They came back from behind. They were down, I want to say 1-3, and they came back and won 5-4. That was very exciting. So gold stars are kind of handy. Yeah. Okay. And let me get my Star Punch. And I'm going to punch some red stars. Maybe some blue ones too. This star, it's a 2-in-1, which is really nice because I get kind of the outline punch and then so that gave me 6 stars. And then I'll use some of these. So I'll show you a trick. Like when I punch this, the edge of the paper wasn't quite long enough. So this is something that I would just like tuck under there, and you would never know that it didn't cut properly. I'm actually really liking this a lot. I think that looks great. Something like that. So I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle these stars around. Maybe something like that. And it's actually look pretty good where they are. So maybe something like that, and maybe put this over here. And yeah, I think that this maybe needs to go down here. Even it a little bit, kind of a little complimentary there. Yeah, I think that looks great. Um, up a little bit. This way. Oh, I didn't put that down. I think this one I'm going to pop up on foam squares. It's amazing how quickly these get all piled up. Found them. All right. So foam squares for the win, literally, for this layout. There's a great CM advisor slash designer out there. Her name is Melissa Ullman, and she is a big foam square user. She always says foam squares for the win. So that's where that came from. I got to give credit where credit is due. She's made a career out of foam squares, which is pretty cool. Those are down, those are down. To do these guys. Then just one more little set here. Okay. All right, I feel like that's fairly well balanced. I do, I like how this gold kind of adds just a little pop of something a little bit different throughout the page, and I think the stars really brought it together, and super, super fun. So I just need to get another photo that's here and do a quick little note here. Cats win. All right. So that is, boy, we're knocking these all out in about 45 minutes or so each. So it's coming together pretty nice with each of these sketches. I do just have a little bit to finish up on this one, but no, I'm pretty happy about it. So 3 down, 1 to go for this evening. And I'm gonna go ahead and just set this aside, and then I do want to just tidy up here a little bit in between. So while I'm doing that, feel free to grab a drink, tidy your own space. Whatever works for you. Open mine hot tamales, to be real honest. I could use a little sugar blast at the moment. The downside of foam squares are these little backs find themselves everywhere, especially the extra small size of the foam squares. I love laser borders. I'm so glad I could incorporate that into this page. And I did on another page too, so laser borders for the win. That's my catchphrase. I have a little orange paw sneaking, trying to sneak under the table or under the door. I have two scrap cats. They both are in here fairly often with me. Kind of come and go, as cats are known to do. But they seem to enjoy it. One of them just comes, he has a bed in here and he comes in and just makes biscuits and purrs away. Just super sweet. This is also the same cat that will try to climb your leg, and so, you know, he goes from being angel to devil pretty quickly. We call him the Orange Menace. He's cute and he can be very sweet too. He's a baby also. He's not even a year old yet. He's only about 8 months old, so he's still learning how to behave. All right, so I've got this fairly well tidied up. I'm gonna put my tool away. All right, guys, the last layout. This one is my daughter's spelling bee. She won her school spelling bee. And she made it to the district B where she got 5th. So she got a trophy. And she's the alternate for the county bee. Sorry. Well, I'm going to use the new school days collection for this. I say new. The latest school collection, which is called School Days. This is the sketch. This is a fun one. I have made this one before, and it's going to look totally different than what I'm going to do tonight. So it'll be fun. Pretty straightforward. It's got 2 base pages, a strip through the middle, and then some sort of vertical element. You could do borders, you could do border stickers, strips of paper. You could do a lot of different things with that. So let's get started and see what we can come up with. This one calls for 5 pictures on the first page and 3 pictures on the second page.
potentially, this paper has years on them, so I could put 7th grade on here. I think I will save that for actual like back to school pages for that. I am going to use this though. This is the one of the extra large layered frames. It's 4x6 frame, so I'm gonna use that for sure. And I've got stickers, embellishments, and mat cards. So let's just have some fun with this. I love the colors of this collection. It's primary colors with a twist, which I think is fun. I really like this. Isn't that cute? Notebook paper. There's pink in here. I love this. It's kind of a pinky salmon color. And then it's got sports stuff on the other side. There's green lined like the writing lines that you used to do. And then this kind of science. So I'm gonna go definitely with this star paper. And then guess what? Look at this, guys. There's a piece of paper from that looks like a dictionary. Could that be any better for a spelling bee? I don't think so. I don't think it's possible that it could be any better. So let's see what we need here. I think what I'll do is use these as the background pages, and then I'll do this yellow strip down the middle of stars. And I think the other thing I could do is the lines. Notebook paper. That looks kind of cool too, actually. It doesn't have a lot of color to it. But we could use the star paper for the strips down the middle. I have the border stickers here. Let's look and see what our sticker situation is. There's ABCs. They're pink. None of these borders are really great. First day of school, high five. I do think this will look great on there. Yeah. Okay. There's also super, super cute embellishments and mat cards. So I think I am gonna go with this. And make it kind of subtle. Not too little British. Once I open the hot tamales, guys, I can't stop. So this is pretty straightforward. I just need 2 5-inch strips of paper. They're gonna meet each other in the middle, so actually I'm gonna cut them from the bottom because this top has that is almost perfect. It really, really is almost perfect. So
This is just a hair longer than 5. What I'm doing here is trying to line these up so that the lines match when they go across the page together. What's interesting though is that it's a little bit off at that black line, but I don't think that'll matter so much. Yeah, I think I nailed it, guys. I think I nailed it. Okay, that's great. And then I have this nice strip that I can use for something. Again, using my 13-inch map to line up this paper. I'm gonna put this. This is 5 inches, so it needs to come 3.5 down and 3.5 up. And we'll do the same here. All right, that looks pretty good. Lines up. Almost perfectly. When it's between these pages, you're never gonna know. All right, so now then, now it's time to pick my photos. There's definitely one in here that I want to. This one should go on the first page here. This one should maybe be that one. There. There's the, there. So this is the one that I want to put the extra large mat on. So I'm gonna kind of get that lined up first so that I can make sure that it fits as I make everything else around it. And then these are the other photos I have. So a lot of these are 3. Do that. I'm actually gonna need to. This is maybe that one. That's the whole spelling bee group. The beginning of the B. There's gonna be so many things at a spelling bee you can take pictures of. Oh gosh. Oh yeah, this was definitely one that I wanted in here. Figure out how to do that. Actually, probably I'll just put it over here. Maybe something like that. Okay. So I've identified the photos that I'm gonna use. These guys need to be 3 by 4. And 3. It was my daughter did such a great job at the spelling bee. I was super proud of her. She was really bummed because she missed making it to the District B by 1 place. So they took the top 4 and she got 5th. But she is the alternate, so you never know, something might happen. There's a lot of illness going around here, so some kid might get really sick and they can't make it. Not that I'm wishing illness on some poor little 12-year-old, just saying. It's going on around right now. These 2 pictures are almost exactly the same, but oh well. Hmm. And then this is also 3 by 4. A lot of 3 by 4s here. This one's 4 by 6. So I'll do that. Okay. So let's look at our map path and stickers. And embellishment. See if there's a title that'll work well for this. This is a graduation one. You are just right. There's that little card. So those 2. And that's a good journal box. I might just save that for journaling. Okay, and then I don't think any of these are. There's cute, definitely cute journal boxes there. So there's just checking these for journal boxes. One of these would be great actually, because it has that lettering in the back that matches the page. And then this does too. So like that might be a good mat for that one. And I could maybe, instead of the pink, use that one. Okay, so I think I picked out some mats, and then that one needs a mat as well. What color would I use? Maybe the red, solid red mat, that would work. Probably, no. There's this turquoise that would look great actually on there. Pink and brown. Let's see what we have here for embellishments. There's some good stickers. There's like an excellent one with a ribbon. School bus, no. Pencil, probably not. A robot. Steam lockers. Trauma. This one would probably be good. Not necessarily graduate paper. Sandwich, milk. This is lunch. Basketball, bag lunch, backpack. This notebook paper, or this would also make a good one. So we have tons of options of things here. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get this in, since I know this one is gonna be. Have to make a decision about this. Paper. Meantime, I can cut this down. 3.5 by 4.5. And I think it's already 4.5, right? Yeah. So I just need to cut it down to 3.5. That's super handy. Probably use that for another photo, to be honest. All the same size. All right, so now I just need to come up with what to use for these strips, and my mind keeps coming back to these stars. And those are, doesn't really say, but they're probably about 1 inch wide. Most of the border maker cartridges are 1 inch or so. Let me look at my decorative blades on my trimmer. Now let's try the pinking. Let's do a line and see what we think of it. Just gonna cut a little edge off of it. Get the idea of how it looks. Yeah, I like that. We cut 3/4 of an inch, I think, is probably about what we want. An inch seems like it's a little wide. All right. These are actually meant to go behind that strip down the front. I think that looks great. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut. Total of 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. A little bit of a drink here. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and map this. There were 34 kids in the B, I think, 34. So it was pretty, not too small. I'm just gonna lift this up real quick because I'm gonna put down the strips that go, the yellow strips. I just love these colors. And I'm just gonna put this right at halfway point at 6 inches. All right. I'll just kind of equally space them out. It looks like they're about maybe 2 inches from the inside here. So I'm just gonna put that at 2 inches in. This one, 2 inches in. This back. Okay. So this photo I'm centering on this strip. On the sky, I put here, down a little bit. Also basically centering it through those. I'm gonna put a okay, now over here, I need to do these strips. Do that. Or I could do that. I think I'm gonna save that for something else. I don't know what exactly. Maybe not. The reason why I went back to that is because of the background on these. You probably can't see it in the camera, but the yellow mat that this is on has words in the background. It's the same as this yellow. And then this brown is the same. And I feel like between the words on the paper and the words on the map, it's just a little too much, maybe. Too much words. So I'm going to look through the mats again. I hate to cut this one. Plus this green isn't the right color. It's going to be the big mats, wherever they are. One, I do one. Here they are. That's a half one. It's a possibility. So other than these clipboards, I'd say the only other one I'd really consider is this one here. It really brings the colors from this to here. And then maybe I can use the other half of it to mat a photo on this side. So I think maybe I figured out what I'm gonna do there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up real quick and do the same. Here, the first one I'm gonna put down is in the middle. Doesn't really matter, I know where they go, but it's just the way my mind works. And again, these are 2 inches in. So I'm putting this one to the left of the 2-inch mark, and this one I'll put to the right of the 2-inch mark. So there's 2 inches on the outside edge of both of them. Okay. And then I'll get my piece back here, 3.5 and 3.5. Okay. Now the photos for this page. This one goes in the middle. Right there. Up there. Up there. About, I think, probably. I have the list of words that she spelled. She got out on the word, I would call it grosgrain. They pronounced it gross grain. And when asked, they said it did not have an alternate pronunciation. Not that I think there's a conspiracy going on or anything, but I do think that it was incorrect what they told her. But that's, these things happen. And so anyway, she got out on grosgrain, and then she had a spell off with another kid. And she was really disappointed because as these things go, like the next kid got the word cello and jitterbug. So it was like just the luck of the draw. Just the luck of the draw. All right. Right, let's talk embellishments. I think this one can go here. That. I think We've got a bunch. Super excellent. Great job. Perfect. But I do need to decide here what I'm gonna do with this. Oh, and we also need kind of go in this direction. And then we could maybe do a title of some sort across the top. There's not a lot of word stickers in this one. These embellishments don't have word stickers either. No, I mean, there is the pencil that would probably work okay. There's some thumbtack stickers. She does do drama. I'm super excited that there's a drama sticker in here. You know, there's actually in the other one, there's some achievements. We're looking at this before. I don't know if it's the color tones are just a little bit different, but you never know. Problem solver. Not quite right. There's this one. Checkmate. Knowledge is power. Coloration of it is just a little off. It's got, you know, it doesn't quite match the same tones. As this one, but it's not terrible. I feel like the yellow kind of ties it together because the yellow is, I would say the yellow is the same. I would say the yellow is the same. And the red, there's some red down here. It's just the blue that's a little bit different and the green. But you know, I think it will be okay. And it's a perfect title for that page. So I'm gonna go with it. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe something like, I don't even know if I need that. That's a fairly good one, but I think maybe just do that, and maybe over here. So it's pink. Should do the red or the excellent. Maybe the red. Maybe if I do that, I don't even need the pencil. All right. So this I'm going to do. I thought about maybe doing this, didn't I? Definitely adds a color to it, but maybe too much because I don't have a corresponding one on this side. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it as I originally had it. All right, I need my foam squares. Wherever I may have set them. It's taking a lot of foam squares.
Cut, that one is fine. I'll cut one in half, put it invisible. I'm just gonna put this straight on there. And I think I'll kind of put this at an angle on the lower bit of it, and then I can kind of do something across the top. Oh. Be nice if there was a star embellishment, but there was. I know I have that star punch that I just used, but just thinking how it would be nice if I could kind of bring the star. There's a star here, and obviously the paper has stars, so it's okay. It's okay. Okay, I think I'm feeling like I have this embellished. Looks pretty good, I think. Let me dress it up a tad. I'll move this. Just trying to decide where's my triangle here. I could put it over here, and then I have kind of this large middle bit here, and then it goes up like that. All right. So now I just have my little journaling to do, and that's done. There we go, guys. Look at that. Another 40-minute layout. And we are done with our 4/20/25, January 2025 pages, 4 layouts for a total of 8 pages for this year already. So not too bad. Like I said, I do have just a little bit of journaling on each of them to do. I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera back. All right, I'm back. Nice to see my face, maybe not. We've been looking at my desk and we've been creating all night long. So it's been really fun for me, and I'm just like so thrilled to have these pages done already on the 31st of January, 4 layouts done. I really only have maybe 2 more for the entire month to do. So that's pretty awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I do, and that you're looking forward to doing next year, excuse me, next month. Like I said, I think maybe, February is a short month. So, maybe the 23rd, 24th, something like that. Go ahead and start printing off your pictures, get them ready for that day. So next month, it's going to be February 28th, which is on a Friday again. So that weekend, maybe the 22nd or 23rd, go ahead and get your photos organized and ready for Friday night. We'll have another Friday night catch-up crop. And we'll see how much we can get done next month. I think I will continue to go ahead and use the virtual crop sketches. So you can plan on that. They're available on the Creative Memories blog, and I will post them the day of. I'll send the link out for which sketches we'll be doing. All right. I hope you had a great night. I know I sure did. Thanks for joining me, and happy scrapping. And I will see you on the 28th of February. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.